Hello, welcome to the magic behind the Ukrainian actors. Today, we're talking to Volodymyr Pielikh. I hope I pronounce it correct. And my name is Bianca. Welcome. Um,
Hi, Bianca.
Hi, it's a pleasure to meet you. Maybe the audience will wonder why we have you in our interview, but it's actually easy because you are Ukrainian, even if
I
you
am.
live in the States.
Yeah.
Maybe we start with that for the audience which don't know you. Yeah, who are you and what are you doing?
Okay. So, like you said, my name is Volodymyr Pielikh. I am from Ukraine. Um, Born and raised. Yes, I'm a computer engineer by profession. Also an artist. I graduated art college and computer engineering in university, separate. I've been modeling for 15 years, and I chose modeling over engineering because just things happened, and I thought, this is so much better, so much less stress, traveling, different lifestyle. Because I've been looking at my colleagues in university, poor bastards, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. Yeah, so this is and I would say modeling paved my way to acting slowly because I've done a lot of like a lot of TV commercials all over the world, and doing those TV commercials, I realized I have passion to acting. Yeah, and that's how I slowly got here.
Yeah, and actually, most models have the first steps into acting because of the modeling. Um, did you start with modeling while you lived in Ukraine, or I'm not sure for how long do you live in the States, if I may ask?
I've been coming here since 2017, but I moved here in 2021
During the pandemic.
during the pandemic, exactly.
Um,
Um,
right after the war started in Ukraine?
no, before,
Before.
like a year before, yeah, year before
Luckily.
that.
Luckily.
Yeah, everything looked fine and nice when I left.
Yeah.
Nobody could even imagine.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, here in Germany, we had a lot of refugees.
Refugees.
Yeah, oh, sometimes the pronunciation is horrible for me. But we had a lot of them since we are so close to the Ukraine.
Right.
So that's why it's actually horrible, and that's why we are maybe more involved in it than maybe if the war somewhere else on the world. And I mean, war is always bad, but we are so close, and that's the reason why we caring so much about Ukrainians.
Hmm.
Um, when you started acting, did you had somehow acting education? Did you went to a college, or do you just act without any education?
So when I before I moved here, I will answer your previous question. You said how long I lived in Ukraine. I started traveling in 2011. That's when I my life kind of changed when I started modeling. I started modeling prior back in Ukraine, but then I started getting international contracts and I started traveling a lot in 2011. And then since then, I would go back home every year for somewhere between 2 months a year to 6 months a year. I would stay home, and the rest of the time I was just traveling.
Mhm.
South America, Central America, America, like all over Europe, Asia, Africa. And um, in 2021, I moved here.
Mhm.
I lived in Ecuador for also a couple of years before that, like way before that. And when I was in Ukraine before moving here in 2020, 2021, I was actually I was looking for acting schools in Ukraine because I was living in Ukraine for like a year, like a solid year, and I was looking for acting school because I thought this is something I want to do. And but then I moved here, and what I did, obviously, I found an acting school, and I went, and I was going to that school for like a year, and then it was a theatrical school, very good school, and then after that school, I jumped to another school in North Hollywood, which is on camera acting.
Hmm.
So there, besides of some acting skills, they mostly focusing on technicality on set, how to put yourself in a box, because after you've done um, theatrical trainings, right, you need to put yourself in a box now.
Hmm.
Now you're acting in this little right screen.
Yeah.
So all these technicalities, how to be open to the camera, how to be helpful for to other actors, to the crew, to not take their time, and just it's like a very complex thing. So I did that for like half a year, and then I started booking like these verticals, and then a couple of shorts and couple pilots and couple of that and couple of this. Yeah, and I quit school because I didn't have time to go to school anymore. And I think working on set is the best school.
Yeah, learning by doing.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not sure. The acting schools are mostly online, I think. Or is it if in one not one on one, but if it's live somewhere, if you meet everyone to get yeah, the skills teached?
It's live. I've heard of online schools. We had them here, but it was mostly during pandemic. And then after that, I would say in 2022, they all reopened back, and that's where I started going. End of
Mhm.
2022, um, and then 2023 in person, because online, nope, it's not a
It's not your
no,
thing.
it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you started to work in verticals, you guys have a lot to do. And I mean, you have so far, as I could see, there are 8 verticals released from you. The last one came out, I guess, a week ago or something. The last one was the Return of the Mafia Queen.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
I did. I did.
You did?
Yeah, it's good. I had to watch all your verticals to be able to talk about it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, yeah, mostly you played actually always the good guy. Do you wish you could play sometimes the villain?
Oh, I did play villain once.
Let me check.
It's not out yet. It's not. You're not gonna find it.
Okay,
It's in post
okay.
production. I've seen footage, and that I've seen footage. They showed it to me, and it looks great. I would say best quality I've ever seen in my experience, and also like some other verticals I've seen. The best quality, the best I would say acting from actors and everything. The music, the sound effects, you know, like all the editing is just great.
That
It gives like a show, like a TV show
great,
quality.
great.
Really good.
There are,
Yeah, I'm so excited for it to come out.
I bet, I bet. There are now coming out always in between some verticals where you think as a viewer, this is not a vertical, that's a movie. For example, your colleague Jackson Tiller just brought out a while ago The Diamond Rose. And I watched this vertical and I said, that's not a vertical, that's a movie. The quality of this show, it's amazing. And yeah, you can be easily be captive to movies like that.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
happy
down.
about that. I mean, the vertical space, yeah, it's grew so fast. I mean, they started in 2023. And if you see some actors, how many verticals they already shooted, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm happy for y'all if you get booked all the time. And I'm not sure, do you have still to go to auditions to get a role, or do they call you immediately and say, hey, we want you?
You know, it like depends. I would say 70% auditions, 30% direct booking.
That's good. And I mean, I'm really happy that you could make it. I mean, I talked a while ago to another Ukrainian actor who lives in New York,
Mm.
Artur Ignatenko, and he just is shooting right now his first American vertical. So
Okay.
that's great if you get your footsteps into the space if you want to. um,
Yeah.
yeah, let me check my notes because we answered already some questions which I wrote down.
Let me add to your question about the villain part.
Mhm.
It was so much fun. I enjoyed it so much, and we all laughed a lot on set. And it's a way more work. It's a
Mhm.
way more work. I was labeled as lead, but I was like a villain, and not just. I spoke to many people, and they said, "Wow, this kind of villain. All the other villains you see in verticals, they're just angels compared to this villain." And
Ooh,
I tried to make him more humane, like how verticals are. They being translated from Chinese, and you
yeah,
have to like word to word, and you have to like change some lines to make them more humane and more like understandable for Western public.
yeah.
And also, yeah, so I tried to bring that, I don't know, I tried to make that character human because he was just devil. He was pure devil. And I tried to make him human so people will kind of understand like why he's, you know, not okay, why he's like this. And sometimes he could be a normal person, but then he explodes and then he tries to be nice and then he explodes and then he does all these horrible things. But it was so much fun. I enjoyed it and I had best feedbacks from directors and they say, wow,
That's
like
good.
we like you that way so much more because this is just so plain and boring. This good guy, he comes into the room and says it's like a short line and then he saves the girl and then he being, it's just but then like that role, I had so many lines. I had lines for three actors basically. I had like more than number one and number two combined. And I was just like on every scene, and it was hard. It was hard, but I enjoyed so much.
Yeah.
I would take another one.
But I must admit, I love if actors not only playing always a CEO, the mafia boss, the werewolf, if they play a villain, and as a
Yeah.
viewer, you watch this show and you start to hate this person.
Oh yeah. I hate myself. I watched
Yeah,
the
but
footage. I hated myself.
that's a very good sign that you're doing a great job. I have it often with some female villainous. I watch the vertical and I say, "Oh Lord, I hate this." I'm not saying this word, but I hate her. But that shows me, first of all, it shows me what you actor are able to do. Not always be the dominant good guy. Uh,
Reserved,
yeah,
serious,
yeah.
powerful.
If you play a
Yeah.
kind of a maniac, or you are crazy, and or
Mm.
even I like it also because it must be a reason why you are like that. And in some verticals, you have sometimes villains where it shows that even the males can have mental issues. And because mostly they are always strong, they are brave, they are ruling the world, you know.
Yeah.
But it's possible that even man can have mental health issues, or even can cry, and that's what have to. Yeah, they have to show it more often, because it's just how we humans are, you know. And what I always think it's impressive, how you actors learn your scripts, how you can remind everything, because you don't have that much time like in a normal movie.
Nope, not at all.
How you do that?
I mean, everybody's different. What I do, I usually get a script like honestly, couple days before, sometimes 4 days in advance, and then you read the script and then if you work, well, you have less time, but then within a day or two, you finish reading your script on your breaks or on the plane or in the bus or if I don't know, you know, or like after work or not when you're driving, but maybe if you're Ubering,
Yeah.
you like reading your script, that's done. And then you do the table read, and then the night before, they send you sides for tomorrow, the night before. And I say like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. sometimes. Then you get those sides, and it's usually somewhere between 14 and 20 pages.
Oof.
And if you're number one, number two, or number three, you are mostly in all of those pages and all of those scenes. So now you have to memorize, all your lines. And that's a lot of lines. What I do first, I was like, I remember my first vertical, I was stressing so much. I was losing my, yeah. And we're not saying words here. So I was stressing, okay? But then, I realized it's okay. You just because this is how it is. Because as long as then when you finish your day one, you get home, and the filming day it's 12 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours, sometimes more. And then you come home. You might come like home at 1 a.m., 12 a.m., right, midnight. 11 p.m., sometimes 2 a.m. And then they send you script after you finish.
Oh Lord.
So you get home, and then you have your sides for the next day, and you're like dead, right? You're not gonna memorize all that. Like it's impossible. You need to sleep, so then you can actually perform and not fall on the floor. And then what I do, I just read the sides once or twice. Then I screenshot them, but I screenshots only my lines, only my pages,
Hmm.
only my scenes, and then I just mark them yellow. I just mark them yellow, so for me to understand which are my lines, and then you see the structure, and then I go to sleep, and then I mean I read them again, and then go to sleep, and then I wake up, and while I have breakfast, I like read it again and read it again, and I focus on the first scene, the second scene, the third scene, because we have sometimes up to 15 scenes, right? So
Wow.
then when you get to work in LA, I have to drive. So sometimes you have to drive for 2 hours because it's far and it's traffic. If I'm somewhere else, then they get me an Uber, a taxi, or a driver. Then I can actually read while they drive me. And then I try to focus on first scenes, learn it. And then when I do makeup, I try to memorize. When I have a break, and we don't really have breaks there,
Hmm.
honestly. You don't even have time to see it because the way they do it, they film it so fast and they move everything fast. The light, the cameras, they have a big crew, and it just goes so fast. So you have like a lot of like a not a lot of time, not a lot of time, and then you block the scene, then you kind of rehearse it once, and then you film again. So you have to be able to read once or twice and memorize it, and then it comes with practice, and then it becomes
Yeah, and
easier.
I mean, you said you have rehearsals and you have table reads, but that's not happening all the time, right? It depends on the
No,
director.
so we don't have rehearsal. We have table read.
Hmm.
It's like the day before, 2 days before, we have table read. We have fitting, so they fit clothes, fix them if they need to, or buy some new clothes. And then when we film, before each scene, each new scene, we block it. They call it blocking. It's basically they need to see how do we explore this space we are in. We're in.
Mhm.
Where do we put cameras? How do we put cameras? Where do we put people? Where are marks? How we deliver our lines, and then we do. So we run the scene. It's like we rehearse, but it's also for them to see what we're gonna do in the scene,
Yeah.
so they can accordingly put the lights and
Yeah.
cameras. And that's our only rehearsal, one. And then we leave the set so they can place all the cameras, and then they call us after 5 minutes, and we run the scene once or twice.
Wow.
That's it. Sometimes three times. Sometimes, if we're lucky, if we have time.
Yeah. I mean, your female co-stars have maybe more luck to read all their lines because they need much longer in the makeup department than you. So
Yep. But they also have more lines. They usually have more
yeah,
lines.
but I guess they have even to come more early to the set because it takes longer to get ready.
Yeah. Yeah. If we have the same, if we're having the same scene, the first scene or second scene, uh, we have to come the same time. They usually come earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they need more time.
yeah. And I mean, regarding you said the traffic in LA, I know, I guess, how it feels because I'm original from Berlin and we have 3.5 million citizens. And if you want to get from the left side of Berlin to the right side, it could take you sometimes even by car 2 to 2.5 hours. It's depend on the traffic. So I know how it is. um, yeah. What I didn't really get, did you already shoot it something in Ukraine also, or only in the States?
In Ukraine, I shot only commercials.
Okay, is there a difference
Yeah.
between the States and Ukraine to shoot a commercial?
Um, Not quite, not really.
Not really. Okay.
No, I would say, um, even in a lot of cases, Ukrainian productions are actually pretty much, let's say, better even. They're so I don't know, they're just very professional, and they're very creative, and they know what they're doing, and it's just, I don't know, it's just and the equipment they're using, sometimes you don't see this equipment in here. It's like, and it's weird, all right? It's United States, weird. But like it's advanced kind of, I would say. I don't know where they get it from, but it's really cool. And yeah, the crafties are nice, like the food and drinks on set. It's really cool. I love working in Ukraine. It's like so good. And they're very
Um,
fast too. They're very fast. And I'm not, I can't compare with verticals because when I film, obviously we didn't have verticals that like they just weren't the thing. They just like wasn't a thing. I'm talking about commercials and other
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. And regarding the food, I can say Ukrainian food is good. It's very good because I told you earlier, I guess I have 10 minutes away from me is a Ukrainian cafe where they sell
Yeah,
all
yeah, yeah, I remember.
this good food. Um, do you plan someday, if the war is over in Ukraine, do you want to stay in the States or do you want to move back?
Move.
Hmm.
So, okay, we will see. You know, it's really hard to say where I want to like be based and live right now, because I mean, you see the news, you see how everything is changing here. I'm not talking about Ukraine. That's like what's happening there. But eventually war will end somehow, one way or another. Hopefully sooner than later, you know, and hopefully Ukraine could preserve or even recover some
Yeah.
land back, because whatever. Ukraine won't be able to recover those lands and people that stayed behind, they're
Yeah.
not going to be happy, and they're going to be living miserable life, and they will and their kids will be recruited in future by the government and sent to some other war somewhere else.
Hmm.
It's not going to be nice to live there. So I know the war will end. I had planned to come to Ukraine in 2022 when I moved
Hmm.
here in 2021, but then war started. I was missing Ukraine badly. I went through many stages. I had depression. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I was angry. I, at some point, like I would have my moments when I don't know, like looking at the footage and news and footage that you wouldn't find like in on the news, but maybe like
Yeah.
Telegram channels,
Yeah.
very like ugly footage that would like take out the worst of me, and I would have moments when I was trying to convince myself to just like leave everything and go there and kill. I had
Hmm.
that, I went through that, and it was hard. It was hard, but then you accept the reality, you let things go, and now I miss Ukraine so much, and I know I know when the war will end, I'll fly back for at least a couple months to visit, to just take it in, and I will be coming back. I like, you know, honestly, I have a property that is in Crimea, unfortunately.
Ooh.
Fortunately or unfortunately, it's a nice place. It's like by the beach, a brand new building. It's nice apartment, but
It's still okay, the building?
I mean the building is okay. Crimea wasn't affected because Russians took it, and Ukrainians are not bombing the cities. But my point is, I lost it now. I
Mhm.
don't think I will be able to recover that apartment ever because I'm not I won't be able to go there. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I don't want to end up in Russian jail and die there. So I want to have my property in Ukraine, and I want to go like be able to go back there
Hmm.
every year for a month or two or three or four. I don't know, for summer. Live. We'll see how things will turn out here, in future
Yeah.
with the new government and all. But yeah, I want to go back and I want to work there, and I pray one day I will be able to go and film there, and it would be amazing.
I mean, if you would go there now, beside that the war is there, it could be possible because you are a Ukrainian man that the government say you are not allowed to leave the country again and you have to serve the country.
So yeah, I won't be able to leave, that's for sure, because Russians are recruiting their men constantly, and Ukraine mirroring and have to do the same in terms of keep fighting. So they keep all the men inside just in case, right?
Yeah,
So for me, if I go there, I would 100% be locked down there
yeah,
until the war's over.
yeah,
That's for sure. And then it's like there's a possibility that I'll be called to join the army.
yeah.
Yes, but it's not necessary. It's not like 100%.
Yeah, some of the Ukrainian male actors, they never served the country, but they are not allowed to leave. And I heard
Mhm.
of some actors, females and males, they even got offers to shoot in China, in Turkey, and in LA. But the males are not allowed to leave the country, and the females, it's maybe a little bit harder to get a working visa or visa to work somewhere else. Because the ladies are allowed to leave the country, because that's not the problem. But the male actors are not allowed to leave the country.
Yeah, that's unfortunately their reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like you said, in the media, they don't show much about what's going on there no more. And I learned a lot what's going on regarding, yeah, or the actors, what they showed in their stories, or even if what they told me in DM. That's unbelievable what's happening there. So I'm really thankful that they are still able to manage to shoot such great verticals and mini movies. Mini movies are movies or short drama movies which are in the length of 10 to 15 or 20 minutes. Mostly you can see them for free on YouTube at Dramatize Me, Love Busters, and Be Kind. And they are a lot movies. So they are always busy, and I love the locations in which they are shooting, because Ukraine is such a beautiful country. I really like it. So that was the first part of the magic behind Ukrainian actors featuring Volodymyr Pielikh. Yes, I learned it's Pielikh, not Pielikh, how we Germans would say it. I hope you enjoyed the first part so far and can't wait to see a second part, because you know how it's going. Mostly we have 2 parts of the interviews. So stay tuned.